release from in the morning.
Lights. TV says we're alright, transmitting pain by satellite. I think there's some of that inside all of us a little bit. Fight the evil deep within. There's some of what I fear in me. Close my mind, fall asleep. Play my games to fill the need. Quench your thirst, make them bleed. I'll pretend just a disc. Killing fingers in my face. Spend your mind wide open. Let your conscience be free. What you will not show them, you must show to me. Let me look through your eyes. Let me see what you see. Empty the same old shit. It doesn't bother you a bit. Stories of another day. Hold me in between the gray. Flip the pages black and white. Read it in the top of line. See the print crawl up on me. Just one more proves one too many.
In the morning.
Hello, pedal aficionados on the before the in front of the YouTube. Today, the Dirty Shirley. I love the Friedman names. Come on, Dirty Shirley. That just screams rock and roll. I don't know. We're gonna do something a little bit different. You just heard a track from Frameshift, which was that really the thing that was that the type of music that you would use a Dirty Shirley for? I don't know. Metal Roll, Rock and Metal? I don't know. Just a track I had and wanted to revisit. But you could hear those fast lines being delivered nicely because it really showed, that thing shows the attack. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, instead of looking at the pedal with an amp, we're going to look at it with a whole bunch of amps, because it can be a boost, it can be an overdrive, and it's supposed to deliver the sound of a Dirty Shirley. Now the question is, how close do we get to a Dirty Shirley? It can never really be the amp, because how stupid would Friedman be if they delivered a $200 version of a $2,600 amp? But how close does it get with your amp? Here's the thing, you never really know at home, because you're like, it sounds great, and it does sound great always. But how close are you? You don't know, because you don't have a Dirty Shirley, because if you had one, you wouldn't need the pedal. So, nice people from Musik Produktiv were like, well, if you want to test this, we'll just send you a Dirty Shirley. I mean, it's right here. So, Leslie, Dirty Shirley. There it is. It's an amp based on a kind of JTM 45. Is that Plexi? I don't know. Something Plexi-ish. It's based on a thing. It's a single channel amp, effects loop, low and high inputs, and it's got that little S switch, which gives you different gain stages, which is very nice to kind of, tailor the amp to be from clean to scream, everything. It sounds phenomenal, and it is just always fun no matter what it's set to. So right now we got it set to what you see there. Good, back to me. And we're gonna see how close we can get with the pedal, which is there. That's how we do that. Okay, so let's look at this. It's a little bit different than other things. Dave Friedman told me the mids, no. It's not mids when it's mids, when it's, it's not mids when it's in the middle. This is flat. And then you can add them only. Bass and treble are behaving as you would expect. Then you have the presence, which is a different kind of treble, or a higher treble, what do I know? Gain and volume. The cool thing about it is, if you put gain down, it behaves beautifully like a cool clean boost, and it boosts amazingly. Of course, we gotta test that as well. And then on the side, you can see it says tight on the side. So now you can go to the side, Leslie. So on the side, there's this tight switch. When you put it down, I think it just takes out some of the bass or something like this. It's just a little bit more responsive and attacky. One of the problems that I had with the pedal is, because the switch is on the side, you kind of forget about it. And I'm completely honest about this. It's kind of weird. I had it in the down position, and I completely forgot that it was even there. I know it's a stupid little thing that is in my head. Why do I forget that there's a switch? I mean, that's just, stupid me. But I would seriously like this thing to be up here, so I'm reminded that it's there. I know it says tight there, and I can just read and look, but for the longest time I forgot that it was there, and for some parts I should have had it in the up position when I recorded, but I didn't, because I forgot that it was there. So yeah, not a problem of the pedal, but a problem of how I operate in my head. So for me, it would be nice if that was actually on top of the pedal. Sometimes switches should be on the side, sometimes on top. What do I know? Okay, back to me. So what we're gonna do is, we have a whole bunch of amps wired into the AMPETE 88S switcher. If you go to the amp wall, Leslie, we can see them. We have, in that order, 1 through 8. The AC30, I'm gonna show you in clean. Pedal is off, that's good. So here's the AC30. The amp 1 by AMPETE. Dietzel Paul. The JCM 800. That's as clean as I can get that. The Soldano, which is modified, because usually it isn't clean. Modified clean channel. The Morgan AC40 Deluxe. Fat as hell. We have the Dirty Shirley, which I don't have clean. And we have the Brown Eye 100 BE on the top left. So there we go. We're gonna start with the AC30, which is a tricky one. We're doing this with this Music Man Valentine. It's James Valentine's signature guitar from Music Man. basically a telly kind of a concoction, but with humbuckers, but you can also get them in single coil. Very bright, but a good guitar, and a nice all-round axe. So, we're starting with the AC30 and see what the pedal can do really quickly, and then we're going to try to get as close as possible to where the Dirty Shirley is set now with a bunch of different amps, which means you really have to tweak the pedal differently depending on what amp you have. But you can't do that at home because you don't have a Dirty Shirley, which is really the tricky part. The only way to really set this up is you have the AMPETE switch and all this stuff. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. Will it sound always like the Dirty Shirley? No. But the drive characteristic is always there. Even if the frequencies are a little bit different, the drive characteristic is there. And of course, your speaker is going to color this way more than anything else. What speaker do I use? The Torpedo Studio with a 412 Marshall kind of V30. That's what I have. So I'm gonna stay in the neck position. It's just rock and roll. That's what I want to do. I heard kind of a metallic rattling. If your SD card thing where your SD cards are in has a little metal lid for reasons that I don't know, and that's standing right next to the speaker, you will hear a metallic rattling. Not the amp or the pedal. So you won't have that problem. I love how the pickups, everything comes through. Nothing is being blanketed, or the pedal doesn't impose its character on the guitar. It's just, it makes everything sound Dirty Shirley-ish, but in the way, you know what I'm trying to, you know? So, full blast. That is nice. So, let's check out the EQ. That bass control is going to come in handy because the Dirty Shirley packs a nice chunky bass. We can adjust that to depending on what amp we're using. So now the mids are, dial them in, because this is flat. So yes, very dynamic, very cool. Let's see how close we get the AC30 to the Dirty Shirley. For that, we go to the Dirty Shirley. 7. I have to put that thing over here. I have my remote for the switcher. Big hole in the mids, which means the AC30 difficult because it has a lot of what the Dirty Shirley doesn't have. So the Vox AC30 head versus the Dirty Shirley right now. Show the Dirty Shirley again, Leslie, so we see the settings. So this is what it's set to right now. The bass is very nice and just defined. Oh, we didn't do the tight switch. We'll do the tight switch. So I'm gonna go back to my AC30 with the pedal. Of course, there's a lot of mids because that is the AC30. What I'm gonna try to do is get the mids down here and sculpt around it and give it more bass and treble. Oh, wait. That was the... Wait. The amp. Dirty Shirley amp. There is no way to get the AC30 to not have those mids. That's just not gonna happen. But the quality of the distortion is the same. It's just the frequencies in the low mids are AC30-ish. So the Dirty Shirley amp sounds a little bit colder than the AC30 with the Dirty Shirley pedal. Where's my switch? Let's do this. Back to the AC30 and the pedal. And let's look at the tight switch. It does what it says, it goes tighter. So maybe now compared to, let's see. I have this down, good. Oh, it is very, very close. Low mids, little bit different. But the quality and the rock and roll-ness is definitely the same. Moving on to to the AMPETE Amp 2. Again, very close in the drive. The frequency spectrum changes a bit. Moving on to the Dietzel Powell. That should be really close because Dietzel has that chunky low end. Even chunkier than the Dirty Shirley amp. The Powell is very bright, so that comes through, which means I probably do that. That is extremely close. Wow. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, seriously. That is way cool. Moving on to a problem child. Marshall JCM 800. Set to gain at about, I don't know, 9 o'clock. Does not want an overdrive at all. That sounds like ass. But the trick here is, don't use it as an overdrive, use it as a boost. Dial this shit down and get the volume up. And now we get the gain out of the Marshall. Compare it to the Dirty Shirley amp. Yep, you can definitely get the Marshall to sound like a Marshall. Because that's, I mean, the Dirty Shirley is based on a different kind of Marshall. But anyway, you can get there. Don't use it as an overdrive with the gain. Use it as a boost, and the Marshall will work for you just fine. So when you test this with your Marshall, or with your JCM, don't go crazy on the gain. Use it as a boost. Moving on to 5 is, I have no idea, that was the Soldano. Yes, on clean, which it doesn't really have a clean channel, usually. If I fiddle around with the pedal a little bit more, I get it to be very, very close. So that's fine. Number 6 is the AC40. Morgan AC40 Deluxe. It's right under the angle with a big M on it. That's a AC30 kind of a thing. So, very fat, beautiful, thick sound. Not as poked in the lower mids as the AC30, I think. Let's look at that. AC30. Actually, almost exactly like it, just a little bit cooler. Yeah, a better AC30 if you ask me, but I didn't say that. Actually, I just did. So, Dirty Shirley. Yeah, freaking awesome sound. Probably not exactly the same thing. No, because it's again an AC30-ish kind of frequency response. Leaves us the 7 and the 8. Leaves us the BE100. Well, if you have a BE100, would you put a Dirty Shirley pedal in front of it? Why not? I'm guessing you can get Dirty Shirley-ish sounds out of the BE. The difference will be minute. Still, if you have a BE100, you also have the dough to buy a Dirty Shirley pedal, so do it. Dirty Shirley amp. BE with the Dirty Shirley in front of it. Let's get the BE and boost it. So that's the BE channel. We're gonna get the gain down again. Volume up. Let's do the tight switch. I want to see if I can get a different sound out of the BE than I would get out of it by itself. So let's see. Yeah, you can get a sound that is a little bit less crisp, but rounder, by boosting it with the Dirty Shirley boosty functionality. Yes, that's it. That's really all I have. Does the Dirty Shirley pedal work for you? We had amps that were very lean in the mids. We had amps like the AC30 and AC40, Morgan AC40, that were very thick in the mids and lower mids. We had something special like the JCM 800 where it didn't want an overdrive, which is weird. I thought this amp likes that. But where as a boost, you could get exactly to where the Dirty Shirley was. So, one thing's for sure, the Dirty Shirley pedal can get you that type of overdrive. You're gonna have to live with having the frequency response of your amp. It is great to tailor that amp in a certain direction. Bass, presence, the mids. You can absolutely steer it closer to the Dirty Shirley amp. Whether or not you get there 100% depends on the frequency response of your amp. It does sound good in front of all of them. And even if you have an amp that doesn't like overdrives, you can still use it as a boost and you're good. So definitely worth the money, and it's fun. It's just the rock and roll attitude is in everything that has this logo. When you have this logo and you turn things on, you're like, you just want to get like, you know, sunglasses and a hat. I look stupid in hats, but anyway, I look great in brown sweaters. That's just it. The attitude is always there, and that's what we want. We want rock and roll, because we go to the bank or the insurance agency where we work or wherever we work, and, you know, we live these lives, and we want to come home and we want to be Slash. Well, Slash in a box right there. Links below, please use them if you want to support my channel. Thanks to David Friedman for sending this over. Actually, thanks to Dennis Schock, who's sending this over. Musikproduktiv, thank you. And that's all there is to say. The animals at the end, that's what it is. Bye-bye.
Standing at the crossroads, asking for the path. I don't believe in Jesus nor in higher math. I try to close my eyes and rely on what I see. The world in black and white is not enough for me. I gotta get up, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm fed up, it's time for me to disappear. I'm under stress, I depress my family. I'm in regress and there is no remedy. Oh, I'm losing touch with reality. This kind of duality is too much for my mind and any kind of psychotherapy. I'm taking off for